Hello, everyone. We're talking today about a question that I have heard and that I have kind of been asking myself, and it is it okay to have an ordinary life? And in our culture currently, we have a lot of what some people like to call hustle culture. And for me, I look at it as, busyness is next to godliness because if you don't have, and I've talked about it before, but if you don't have a jam packed schedule where you're, working on something, making money, trying to improve yourself, trying to improve your everything, then you haven't arrived. That's how I feel the current culture is. So I'm wondering, for me and for everyone else, is an ordinary life a life where you work in the profession that you chose or the profession that you ended up in and pay your bills, raise your children or don't have children, depending on what you do. And if you never do anything extraordinary, is that okay? Because even my cup says, dream big. And I'm not saying for me that I don't think that having dreams is important. I think it is. I think we should feel fulfilled in our life, but I'm wondering if we ever really do feel fulfilled, or are we always pushing and waiting for the next thing? Is an ordinary life something that's acceptable? My life is very ordinary by my choosing, or at least it has been up until recently when I start this YouTube channel. I feel like this is extraordinary for me. But my life is very ordinary. My husband and I go to work. We are considered middle class. We don't drive fancy, expensive vehicles. Um, we just have a regular life. We raise our children. We do our best to serve God. And we obey the law. And we're just ordinary. But do you feel the push from culture and possibly from yourself to go beyond that? And does it sit with you like something that's motivating, or does it sit with you with something that looks like guilt or shame if you aren't participating in this hustle culture? Leo is participating in the hustle culture. He says, I need a lot of pets today. So, just trying to wrap my head around this and try to think of what was I going to say here, because I seem to have lost it all. I chose an ordinary life. I chose raising children over education. And well, I feel like that is very important and the most important choice I could have made. I know that culturally, where I live, that's not acceptable. It's almost looked at like a waste. And I don't feel like it's a waste. There's plenty of other people I know that don't feel like it's a waste. But if I'm not trying to make as much money as I can and trying to buy all the things that I can so I can go do all these extraordinary things, I'm not sure that that's looked at by our culture as okay. If you're just satisfied with a plain, ordinary life, that's not looked at as fulfilling as far as I can see. And for me, it is. I can find extraordinary things in my simple life. And, my life might look very different than your life. I, I have 30 chickens in my backyard, which is not a normal thing. So that might be considered extraordinary. But I also don't live in the city where I can get whatever I want to eat anytime. So to me, that's extraordinary. And different areas that you live, your situation may look very exciting to someone else. But the point I'm trying to make here, if I even have a point, is an ordinary life where you just do regular human things. Is that something that's acceptable to you? Or do you feel like you failed if you aren't living this hustle, push, 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 culturally acceptable life? If your hobbies aren't making you money, do you feel like they're worth it? I don't know. I think I like to find the extraordinary in the simple things. I think that's what it is for me. So let me know, guys. Tell me in the comments, is an ordinary life okay for you? Do you live an ordinary life, or do you have an extraordinary life? Are you satisfied with the simple things, or do you need to push and strive and better yourself? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Are you, I feel like I'm content to take care of the people that I've been given to take care of. I'm content to use my gifts that God's given me in the circle that I'm in. I don't always feel the need to push beyond that. When I was a younger person, I think before I had children, I had a desire to be a missionary, and I can't say that's not gone. So maybe there is still some extraordinary in there, and it's just not for this time. But let me know, guys. Have a beautiful day. Live in love out of the way you were created.